If you hear mysterious noises and sounds, if you hear your name called when there's no one around, keep going, dear listener. This story is for you. I hope it will accomplish what I wrote it to do. In these words, you will find all the tools you'll need, so that when you're faced with unimaginable things, you won't react with fear, as most people do. You'll be equipped, calm, and able to see the truth. My best, Hedy. This is What We Keep Hidden. By Lauren Nicole. Chapter 17. Basement.
You'll need the key. The credenza in the hallway. Second drawer on the left.
I squinted in that direction. The fire's glow didn't illuminate that part of the hall. I'm gonna need a candle, or... My voice trailed off in thought.
No need, kiddo. I keep a flashlight in that drawer, too.
Oh, that's convenient, I said as I walked over.
This isn't my first summer storm, you know,
Betty said, grinning with an emphatic nod of her head. I carefully made my way over to the hallway, keeping one hand trailing along the wall for balance in the opacity of the premature night that infiltrated the house. Carefully tiptoeing with each footstep, so as not to run into anything unexpected. Or so I thought. Oh, I moaned.
What happened?
Betty called from the couch. Oh, nothing. Just stubbed my toe is all.
But I found the credenza.
I chuckled. I reached out and felt for the knobs on the drawers. Left, 1 over 2. I pulled it open and felt around the various objects in the drawer before I found the hard plastic casing of the flashlight. Finding the button, I turned it on and blinked to adjust to the instant brightness that now engulfed me. Perfect. Kneeling, I peered into the back of the drawer, figuring the key would have been pushed back over time, seeing as it was seldom used. Aha! A slight glimmer in the light's pathway gave away the key's location. I reached back and grabbed it. The twisting swirls and flourishing scrolls at the top made it seem more like a Christmas tree ornament than a key to a basement door. Got it! I grabbed my now dry raincoat from off the coat hanger and put it on. I figured it would be useful to store all the supplies in my pockets. Basements always have a reputation of being cold and damp anyways, so an extra layer of protection wouldn't hurt. I lifted my hood up over my head as I passed the doorway to the parlor. With the flashlight under my chin, I contorted my face while my other hand reached with crooked fingers towards Betty. I gave her my best villain laugh. Ha ha! Betty guffawed from underneath her blanket mountain.
Oh, on with your kiddo. I bet your mother's getting worried sick. Oh, I know I would be.
Betty's voice trailed as she sank back into the couch cushions. I'm going. I laughed and left her and Humphrey in the parlor and walked up to that funny little door under the staircase. Come on, Lucy, I called, filled with a last-minute sense of panic now that I was facing the door that moved on its own. Cautiously, Lucy joined me at my side, whimpering and whining at the door. Well, stay here then if you don't want to go that bad. Lucy looked at me gratefully and ran back into the parlor. Silly dog. I placed the key in the lock and turned it, twisting it effortlessly inside. My eyes widened, alert to the familiar sound, but this time the doorknob twisted and successfully unlatched the door on its own. I watched, motionless, as the door slowly swung open, revealing the large, gaping mouth of a doorway. I took a deep breath in, then started my descent down the steps that swallowed me up into the yawning, opaque darkness.
What are you doing back here? Go keep an eye on your girl.
I heard Betty faintly tell Lucy in the parlor. Shortly afterward, I could hear Lucy's hesitant steps on the floorboards above me. I was about halfway down when I looked back and saw her faint outline whimpering in the doorway. "Come along then," I said as I sent the flashlight's beam to the ceiling to illuminate the entire basement. She cautiously obliged, hesitating and whining at every step. Once I reached the bottom, I made my way to the center of the dim room when I felt something brush up against the top of my hood. Looking up, I saw a chain attached to a light bulb on the ceiling. "Oh, here we go." I reached up for it, but just as I was about to grab it, something stopped me. I froze. It was the same whisper of a noise I'd heard earlier during the storm, right before the power went out. No, everything has a reasonable explanation. It must be the wind, coming through the cracks in the walls, or window framings that just aren't sealed correctly. Pushing through the nervous rattlings at the base of my neck, I forced myself to reach for the chain. Hedy! An unembodied hoarse whisper screamed my name, suddenly materializing in the inky black space surrounding my ear. But it was too late. I had already grabbed a hold of the chain and couldn't let go as the residual energy of the lightning strike traveled through my spine and contracted my muscles. Although the shock was nowhere near fatal, it startled my body enough to trigger an episode. No, not here, not now, I said breathlessly as I felt the familiar tingling travel up my legs before they gave out from underneath me. I could no longer hold the flashlight through the stabbing pins and needles in my fingers. It fell to the floor and rolled a few feet away. I could hear Lucy's footsteps getting louder as she bounded down the stairs towards me. I felt a lick on my face and her cold, wet nose as she sniffed the back of my knee. I waited for her 2 alarm barks, feeling helpless that I couldn't tell her no one would come. Betty couldn't move off the couch with her knee. We would have to ride this out together. Instead of her alarm barks, I heard a growl. A low, rumbling growl that I had never heard her make before. One that struck a cold icicle of fear into my heart. What could she be so afraid of to make that sound? It wasn't long before the growls morphed into snarling barks, almost as if she was screaming. I strained to stay conscious, but I could feel myself slipping. My eyes fluttered for a few moments before I saw what she was barking at. There he was. The same dark, shadowy figure I saw in the upstairs window that first night. Except now, he was a few feet away, in the corner of the basement, staring at us. Hey there, it's Hedy. Do you want to join our H&B secret society? I might even be able to convince Betty to share her famous butterfly PT recipe with you. We'll see about that. For now, head on over to laurennicole.art/stories to see how you can get your official member badge. See you soon. Thank you for joining us on this episode of What We Keep Hidden. Tune in next time to see what happens. What We Keep Hidden is written, narrated, and produced by Lauren Nicole. This has been a Lauren Nicole creation.